Hello everybody out there and welcome to episode 299 of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review. That's right, there is only one more episode to go, and that's the one that you're watching right now. So, we are gearing up for an epic weekend next weekend. We have been so on time this week. We did the indie review last night. We're recording this Monday, Tuesday, good. Sunday night, going into Monday morning. This will be up, and you will not be hearing anything from this channel until Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay tuned to the end of this episode for more details, but you will be seeing us on Tuesday nights, Comic Frontline live show. Don't forget, 9:15 Eastern Standard Time or 9:30. Between those two times, 9:15, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night. Now, let's start with the comics this week, which were released on
July 22nd, 2015. Double twos.
Yep, second to last week of July. It's kind of ironic that 300 will be the last week of July.
I know, right?
But we'll talk about that when the time comes. Teen Titans issue number 10. If the next issue does not hold me, this book is going to be dropped. I'm sorry, but this book was, let's try to get Superboy and fail. Then let's try to get Superboy again and fail. And then Power Girl tries to get Superboy and fails. And it's just like, grab him, fail. Grab him, fail. It's like, give up. And even Cassie at the end of the book, she tries to stop Superboy. And he just, and this is what I don't understand. These are supposed to be superheroes, yet he grabbed her, plowed her through the bridge. Through the bridge, blowing up a car, hurting people, just to put her underwater and basically knock her out. You know, due to lack of air, so to speak. Robin and Raven go after Manchester Black to back them off of Superboy because they know he didn't do it, and they fail too, and now they're trapped because the team goes back to where Manchester Black was.
Why was this the whole thing about one going after
the team that's going after Superboy want to lock him up because they believe he hurt innocent people, and the Teen Titans believe that that's not true, and they have proof why it's not true. Also, Kid Flash's little gripe of Robin is mentioned in the beginning of the book. I'm trying to look for a good... That's the last page. I don't want to give the last page away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's basically the whole of this issue, and it got annoying. It got annoying very fast. This is definitely not the Teen Titans. I guess I'm very stuck on the way Jeff Johns did Teen Titans pre-New 52, and the world hates them. This new DC Universe hates 90% of their superheroes. Even in the Flash book this week, it's mentioned that the police officers hate the Flash. I miss the old DC Universe where the superheroes were, you know, held up to par as superheroes, not hated by 90% of the populace. But anyway, if this book doesn't pick up, I'm sorry, but it's probably going to get dropped again because I came back for Superboy, and I was like, okay, the annual was good. I'll try it after Convergence, see how it goes. And again, I'm just left kind of disappointed.
Wow. That says
one more issue. If it does not pick up, if there's nothing that really grabs me, I'm dropping Teen Titans again. I'm sorry, but I mean, maybe I'm holding it to too high of a standard, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like Teen Titans. It feels like the teens on the run. Honestly. The next two books have Wonder Woman on the cover. We got Deathstroke issue number 8, which is another book where it's just Deathstroke fighting Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman tells Deathstroke, you released whatever his name is, because I can't pronounce it. It starts with an L. And Deathstroke's whole job was to kill him. And he believed he killed him by destroying the stone figure of him. And we find out in this issue that that was his prison. And now that Deathstroke destroyed the stone, he freed the guy. And the rest of the book is just Wonder Woman beating the crap out of Deathstroke until, what's her name, shows up. Hessia. And Wonder Woman uses a lasso, finds out the truth about Deathstroke. Hessia kind of stands in for him. And in the end, I love how she's like, normally we ban or banish people from Themyscira, but you know what? Since you're here, you are going to stop whatever his name is, because I cannot pronounce his name, whether you win or lose. If you lose, you die. And in the end, we finally get introduced to Deathstroke's true target. To be continued. In the annual next week. I love how DC Comics is doing this now, where people weren't buying their annuals because they had nothing to do with the story, and now they're actually connecting the annuals to the stories. So you're kind of forced, if you didn't want to, now you're kind of forced to buy it if you want the continuation of the story. So Deathstroke is going to be continuing next week in Deathstroke Annual. I believe it's number 1.
Yeah.
Straightforward issue again, just a big fight. Wonder Woman issue 42 starts off with Wonder Woman, and I believe Hestia again, at a nightclub having a good time, and then they get targeted by that guy again, and we finally get a background story on who is chasing after Wonder Woman. Really great artwork. Tony S. David Finch. I'm thinking Tony S. Daniel because Tony S. Daniel does Deathstroke. David Finch does the artwork in Wonder Woman. And we get the background on the boy. The boy's name is Aegeus. A-E-G-E-U-S. Aegeus. Whatever.
Yes.
He's the great-great-grandson of Poseidon. And the mother, before she dies, explains the whole thing to him. He doesn't believe it at first. And then he finds this little coin that gives him access to Poseidon. He tries to find Poseidon to, show him the ways. And instead he's found by this pool. We don't know who's in the pool yet, but this person bestows upon him powers in order to stop Wonder Woman, and so he could become the god of war. And now Wonder Woman's trying to figure out who this guy is, because she has no idea who he is. And there's another scene with Donna. And then in the end, I forget what her name is. I think it's Stripe. Stripe shows up, and she basically gives Donna the key and tells her what she can do to repent or basically end her life. Straightforward issue, but I really like this issue. Very dialogue heavy, and it's definitely setting up to something. What? We don't know. Now we're finally in the Flash issue number 42, where the police officers, Barry finds out the police officers hate Flash in this issue, thanks to Iris. The issue opens up with Barry at the prison believing his father was dragged along as a hostage with some escapees, and it turns out he finds out that the father actually orchestrated the entire breakout. And at first he's not willing to believe it. He doesn't want to believe his father did it. All this time you got the father now in Central City trying to get some supplies. A security officer breaks in. Zoom shows up and really causes a problem for the father. I'm not going to say what he did, but if you saw anything in that page, then you know what it is. Flash goes after, what's his name? Girder. And nice action scene happens with Girder. And he wants the truth from Girder about the father, what's going on. He finds out from a police officer he finds out from Girder that the father's the one that orchestrated the whole thing. Now he's starting to believe it, and then he goes to the police officer that was dragged along as a hostage to kind of free the prisoners. And he says that the father promised to help his wife. And that's when Flash is confronted by Zoom at the end of this issue for the first time. Interesting stuff is definitely heating up in Flash. Really loving this story arc right now. I don't know how I feel about this new costume though. It just, every time I see it, it's like, it's not the Flash costume. I'm really not feeling this Flash costume. So we got a lot of stuff going on with the father. We've got Flash now for the first time ever confronted by Zoom, and Zoom will be in the next issue. It says the next issue has Zoom in it. This is going to be a really good book, I think. Rob Vendetti is doing Flash also, to note. Sinestro issue number 13. Saranic is now part of the Sinestro Corps, and we find out, in this issue I called it, Sinestro admits he took the Green Ring away from her because something bad is about to happen to the Green Lanterns, and in this issue, all the Green Lanterns disappear. And Saranic's ring, on the third page actually, disappears. Anyone wearing a Green Lantern ring, there are a group of people that are acting against the Green Lantern Corps, and they did something to the Green Lantern Corps. We don't know who yet, and we don't know what they did, But basically, the target was the Green Lantern Corps, and all the Green Lanterns have now disappeared. So now Sinestro has 2 goals. Number 1 is to save all the remaining Corrigarians. And the other one is to become the new police force in the universe. In all the universes. So he does something. I'm not giving away any dialogue between him and the god. I forgot her name. You got to read this book to find out for yourself. But he makes a sacrifice in this book, and if you didn't see the cover, I'm going to show you the sacrifice he made again. He sacrifices that into the core of Battle World, or not Battle World. Wow, Battle World. Good going, Chris. War World, or this War World, to stabilize the core in order to keep it alive. At first, he was thinking, maybe I don't want to save the Corrigarians. Who cares about them? Maybe, you know, I have a grander focus to focus on. But in the end, he chose to save the planet and to save his people. And then we find out who the traitor was. I won't spoil that either. It's in the end of the book. But Sinestro knew who it was all along. He does punish some people. Not the one that betrayed him. But the ending was very, very interesting. And the next issue says recruit. So obviously now, with the Green Lantern Corps missing, the Sinestro Corps is going to be taking over as the standing Corps. However, when the Green Lanterns come back, I have a very, very strong feeling we're going to have another Sinestro Corps war. And that's where Hal Jordan is going to come back to the Green Lanterns, because they are definitely going to need him. Cyborg issue number 1. I wasn't sure about this issue. I really wasn't. Going into it, I didn't like the way DC reintroduced Cyborg. Instead of him being a Teen Titan, they just shot him right up to Justice League status. In this issue, Cyborg is changing. It's happened due to certain things that were going on in... I can't remember what book it was. I believe it was the Free Comic Book Day book, where his body started to change.
The Justice League book?
Maybe it was a Justice League book. I don't remember, but it happened and I know I read it. And he's going to his father to try to figure out what's going on with his body. And of course, this whole book is the issue between Vic and his father. His father completely pretends like he's not even around. Throughout the whole issue, it's a lot of internal dialogue with Victor, kind of, talking about his childhood, how he was always invisible to his parents because they were always arguing or always talking about something. And in present day, his father is talking to Dr. Morrow and completely ignoring the fact that Victor's even in the room. And Victor's just trying to get a straight-up answer from his father, trying to show stuff off to the father. And while the father does pay attention to him for like a moment, he goes right back to ignoring him and back to the studying of Victor's body. So, in the end, he's comforted by a friend. I cannot remember her name at all. I'll remember it probably in a moment. There we go. I think it was this... I'm trying to remember her name. I can't believe it. I suck when it comes to remembering support characters' names. But anyway, she and Victor kind of bug out of the building, so to speak. And then Victor meets up with an old friend of his, or somebody who knew him from his football days. And then we get introduced to the threat that's going to be coming for Cyborg. To be continued. I thought this was a really interesting read. I enjoyed the first issue. I definitely will be coming back for the next issue just to see where this series is going. I really enjoyed it, and if you're a fan of Cyborg, I would definitely recommend giving this book a try. It is a $2.99 book. So there aren't that many $2.99 new books that are coming out from DC and Marvel lately, so definitely something to look into. We're now in Marvel. I have 4, you have 3. Future Imperfects issue number 3. When this book started, I called it from the beginning. A task force for Ross, who is the Thing in the Future Imperfects, a group of his people come together along with a double agent that's working for the Maestro to save the Thing. They come up with a plan to save the Thing. And the whole issue is them breaking into the Maestro's palace. They get spotted. Lots of shots fired, lots of action going on. One of the guys doesn't even trust the woman that works for Maestro that actually wants to see Maestro gone also. But anyway, they finally get to the point where they find Maestro and Ross, and I saw this coming. I thought this was going to be the last page, but it turns out that they're just sitting around talking because they're planning for Maestro to go up against Doom and to defeat him and become the ruler or the god of Battle World, and basically he'll never come back to Dystopia again. And Ross actually puts his team, tells them to sit down, and all is kind of explained to them, and we find out that there might be a weakness against Doom, but I doubt that's true, and it's the Destroyer. So Future Imperfects was kind of very predictable this time. I love the artwork by Greg Land in this book. I don't know why. I guess it's because everybody else has different colors to them, like different color skin or different hair, that you could tell them apart. But I'll be honest with you, there are some panels where it's like, I could swear to God that could be Mary Jane, that could be, you know, anybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the story is definitely really good. I'm very interested to see when the Maestro gets the Destroyer armor, if in the end he does face Doom and dies, or what. This was a really good book, though. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the books this week except for the first two books that I mentioned, which was Teen Titans and Deathstroke. They were very straight. Well, Deathstroke I actually did enjoy a little bit more than Teen Titans. Teen Titans was the only book that I'm kind of very let down with.
E for Extinction, issue number 2. NL.
Done?
That's the E for that. NL. First of all, I couldn't stand the artwork. Number 1. Number 2, like, the story had a potential of going really well, where we have Wolverine, Cyclops, and Emma Frost, who are basically trying to find out about this whole Jean Grey getting stuck in the egg. And then we have Beast, who's trying to figure out how his own self is human. And then we get to where their team goes after Magneto and his team. And they're just fighting off against each other. And, of course, Quentin betrayed the team during the fight because of the whole Jean Grey thing. Like, he said, like, I trusted you, Magneto, and, you know, you do this, it's insane and all that. And then it got boring after that. You know, the Magneto started to destroy everything, and everything was just about the egg and everything. And then this is where it threw me off. Like, at the very, very end of the book, skipping lots of boring dialogue, this happens, and then the Beast
There's a bunch of beasts.
No. I know where this is going, and I do not like it. So I am dropping it. I can. This book, and then Cyclops still with his whole, I have to fix my optic left. Really? When did he have to fix anything? So I just can't, I couldn't like it. So I have to drop it. And like we said, there are many books coming out, and this book, didn't hold either.
I think this is the second to last week where there will be number 1s. Yeah. I think there's only one more number 1 coming out of Marvel, which is House of M, and it's coming out in a week or two in August. And then that's it. Those are all the series we're getting until after Secret Wars.
And this is my third drop. The first was Miss Deadpool, second was Battle World, and now this...
And Journal.
Oh, Journal. Oh, so fourth one. Thank you, Journal, and now this one. So 4 books that have dropped so far.
I'm really liking this book. Old Man Logan, issue number 3. The last issue, he is confronted by Apocalypse. And Apocalypse wants to know how it's possible for Wolverine to be there. He doesn't know who he is, and he knows everything about his realm. And that's when the Thor comes back and challenges, what do you call, not really challenges, but she tells Apocalypse, this is really nice art right here, tells Apocalypse that, you know, she came for him, that he doesn't belong in this time. There's a really great scene where Wolverine meets a character that isn't discovered yet during the Apocalypse time, and he kind of tells Emma Frost as he's trying to escape the realm, because he's trying to get away again, to find her and take care of her. And it turns out the Thor, he tries to attack the Thor and take her down, but instead she zaps him over the wall, and he ends up somewhere else, which I think is awesome, because he ends up in Technotropolis, which is where the Armor Wars book is going on. And Tony Stark has no idea who Logan is, but obviously Old Man Logan knows who Tony Stark is, but he's never been around. They don't know him, but he knows them, and he's starting to question. He wants to see Doom finally, and I love how Rhodey, or Marshall Rhodes, in this book is very different than he is in Armor Wars. In this one, he knows Old Man Logan's, what's the word I'm looking for? He broke a rule, he left his domain, which is forbidden, and Logan gives him a very long, hard look when he says that. And Logan says, "I want to find Doom. I need to meet Doom." And Marshall Rhodes is like, "That's not possible. You broke the rule, you broke the law, and now you need to pay for it." And minor fight later, Rhodes gets the upper hand on Old Man Logan, and then it ends with Logan being somewhere else by the end of this book. So it looks like Old Man Logan's going to be hopping from one place to another, but I don't think he's going to be escaping this domain, at least not in one issue. I'm really loving Old Man Logan. Brian Michael Bendis is writing this story really well. He's hopping from domain to domain, but now, at the end of this issue, he's in really, really hot water in the domain he's in this time. And you guys know, if you've been reading Battle World and Secret Wars, you know when you break Doom's Law, where do you end up? That's where Old Man Logan is now. And I like that in the all-new, all-different Marvel, they're bringing Old Man Logan in. If we can't have Wolverine, Old Man Logan is definitely my next choice, because I think that there's a lot of potential for Old Man Logan. We'll have to wait and see. But it'd be nice at some point for the real Wolverine, the actual Wolverine, to come back. But for right now, we have to settle for Old Man Logan and X-23 stepping up into the Wolverine, status. Yeah. I'm up for that. And I hope that Dawkins makes an appearance or is a guest or a supporting character in Wolverine. I think he'd be a really cool person to have in there with X-23.
All right. Magneto issue number 20. And at the end of this book, I saw it's to be concluded, so I'm guessing the next issue is going to be the last from what it says there. But in this story, just to sum it up, it talks about Magneto that's doing this war of chaos in the city, but then it goes to the backstory where he's talking with Blair and like saying, I know that you try to control me and use me for this and that, and then she's saying that that there was reasons why she did that, and there were a bunch of other dialogue that happened there. And the artwork here is right there. And his daughter Lorna actually helps him out with this battle that happens. But Magneto, he's just going hardcore and just trying to get rid of everything. And then we have a conversation where Blair talks with Agent Rodriguez about the this what's it called, USB drive that has this thing about Project Magneto, and also Magneto's farewell to the world after he goes to this war. And we also have Lorna who talks with Blair, and she's basically trying to tell him, your father's dying, and the best way for him to die is if you're by his side. And then Magneto didn't want her to be by her side, so he makes the move to knock her out, and then all this is going into the final act, which is to be concluded. And all that.
Well, we all know that Magneto didn't die because he's all over Battle World.
Oh yeah, so it was an okay issue. I mean, I can't believe the next one's going to be concluded. And then...
Well, don't worry, your Magneto fix will come in the other X-Men book where he's leading a team.
Okay, well then let's see how that book goes. And he's in Red Skull also, but let's see how that goes with that.
Check the time. I have time for one more, and then we'll go into our number ones. We need another part anyway, because at the end we're talking about 300. Marvel Zombies issue number 2 in this one. Again, I believe her name is Bloodstone. Eva Bloodstone, if I'm not mistaken. I want to get her name right, because if I don't, I'm going to feel very... Yeah, Bloodstone. Is with this boy, and they find the zombified MODOK. And the boy, who still has no name, he realizes that they're being followed by somebody, and he sees him on the scouter. She thinks that he's a threat, so she uses MODOK as a bomb, so to speak, to take him out. There's another flashback between her and her father, which is awesome. And then you have them just traversing the dead zone. They actually meet up with a zombie carnage, which I thought that was awesome. And then Angel shows up, one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. Members, and he takes the boy, because Eva Bloodstone says, "You take him, I'll stay behind and you come back for me." And then we find out that the person she tried to destroy in the beginning of the issue is still following her. She wants to confront him until she figures out that there was a little bit of there was a twist. It really wasn't Angel that took the boy, and it really wasn't an agent. We find out that it's actually a shapeshifter, and now the boy's in trouble. But she's wondering, zombies usually can't think.
Well, what was that last page?
Well, zombies usually can't think because all they're thinking about is consuming flesh. So she's wondering, how are these zombies, are these Marvel zombies actually thinking? And then the last page kind of explains why their thirst for flesh is not really needed anymore, as you can see in the last page. It's explained.
I saw it very well.
So now it's up to her to save the boy and get the hell out of the dead zone.
Wow.
It's gonna be really awesome. I'm really liking Marvel Zombies. I'm not reading Marvel Zombies versus Age of Ultron, but this is going very, very well. I'm really liking it for what it's worth, and I look forward to seeing. I don't think we'll be having any Marvel Zombies for a while when the all different Marvel shows up, because if one Marvel Zombie attacks the world, that's it, the end. But I'm sure there'll be a miniseries or something sometime in the future for Marvel. But anyway, guys, give us just 1 second and we will come back with our #1 books of the week, and then we'll talk a little bit more setting up for what's to come at the end of the week. Alright, we're back. You're first and then I'll go.
Alright, book of the week of Marvel, The Punisher, issue number 20. Where Frank Castle, aka The Punisher, goes up against the group that is called the Black Dawn Fighters. The terrorists who kidnapped all the American hostiles who were associates of Frank Castle at one time. So, one by one, he goes after them and literally destroys them, because that's what the Punisher does. Here's some artwork right here. And the leader of the Black Dawn tries to outnumber the Punisher by taking him out, and thinking that he's won. Frank Castle I like how when he gets him, he says, "I came here for punishment," and just gets him like that, saying like, "That's what you deserve," and that's the end. So right there, that statement was just really just wow. And then the Punisher is not done there, because he fights off against the Black Dawn's army, and it doesn't look really going so well. I just don't like that they end it with a skull. Like, do I know if it's going to be concluded, or is it the end? I
don't know, but it looks like the convergence is happening, so I would imagine that this probably is the last issue.
No, this can't be the last issue.
Maybe the second to last. I don't know.
Maybe like Magneto and the 21. If it does, I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed this book. It's weird just seeing Frank Castle on the deathbed like we saw the other time, and that's like twice already.
Alright, slide these over. Give me a second.
A really excellent book, nonetheless.
This book I love. It's Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde, issue #1 now. The Star-Lord in this issue, remember I was saying last issue, or we were talking about it last Tuesday, that Peter Quill was not in Nowhere. He was not part of Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, it turns out that the Star-Lord in this book is the Star-Lord that survived the incursion. We find out that what Doctor Strange did was, when he sent all of the heroes away from Doom, they were separated into different domains, apparently, because Star-Lord ended up in, I don't know what domain he ended up in, actually. It starts off with him being actually, appearing out of nowhere. Oh, he's in, I believe, he's in the Quiet Room, so I'm imagining that he ended up in the Inhumans domain. and he is a singer for the Inhumans. Or at least he sings for the Quiet Room, and then there's a flashback where he remembers the incursion, surviving, and then being sent away and split from his friends. So he's afraid that Doom is going to be looking for him, so he changes his name to Stevie Rogers, and he becomes a singer for the Quiet Room. And Drax apparently is his manager or the head of the
Well,
I don't even know what it is. He's the head of the place. Not the place, but he's the head of the entertainment. And Kitty Pryde shows up, and it's not the Kitty Pryde that Peter remembers. Remember, this is a Kitty Pryde that was affected by the incursion, and she works for Valeria, and she's looking for abnormalities. Obviously, Doom sent his agents around looking for abnormalities, and in this universe, Gambit is the collector. So he finds a piece of hair, it's analyzed, and the origin's unknown, so he hits the jackpot, but Kitty Pryde wants the person that the hair came from to give the trade. And he doesn't have the person. And then Peter, who sees, Kitty, and Kitty's being harassed by Gambit at this point, you get a little flashback if you haven't been reading Star-Lord. He actually goes to Gambit and says, listen, I think you need to back off the lady. Gambit misconstrues the whole situation for this guy working for Kitty Pryde, and he tries to escape the place. He fights Drax a bit and gets free, and then Kitty Pryde, spoiler alert, finds out that Star-Lord, or Peter, is the abnormality. He's one of the abnormalities. She handcuffs him to herself, and they run off to Doomguard to be continued. So I know Star-Lord's only going to be about 4 issues. If it's a monthly series, if it's 2 every month, it'll be a little bit more. But I believe it's a monthly series. I believe there's only going to be like what, 3 or 4 issues until the grand finale. This was really good. I like the connection to. Finally, we have a miniseries that doesn't involve domains as much as it involves a person who survived the incursion as the main star. This is the only book that has a star from the incursion that remembers the Marvel Universe before the Battle World. So this story is really one that stands out from the rest of the Marvel books, because this one involves a character that was not birthed through Battle World, but from the old Marvel Universe, and he's obviously going to be part of the team that stops Doom at some point possibly. So I really like this. I would definitely recommend it. Artwork was good, and it's nice to see, you know, somebody outside of the I'm raised to believe that this is where I belong in the world and this is my domain. He doesn't belong anywhere because he's not part of Battle World. He was not there when Doom fixed the Marvel Universe and combined it with different universes.
Yep.
So with that, that's the end of this episode, guys, and that means it's official. There are 0. We need a better 0 for anyway. There are 0.
What's wrong with the 0?
Are you done? There are 0 more episodes until 300. 300 is the next episode. See, you guys thought we were going to put a 0 in. Yes, we did at the end of this episode. There are no more episodes. This is the last one until 300. So now, really quickly, I want to take a little bit of time out on this show to talk about what you guys can expect over the next week. This will be going up Monday morning. Videos for 300, there are a lot of videos. I'm letting you guys know now, there's going to be a nice amount of videos that are going to go up from Saturday to Sunday. It's going to be the celebration weekend. We're going to be recording on the weekend, and we're going to be recording during the week before the weekend, and the videos will go up, obviously, on the weekend. That's why we're taking a week off from, or I'm taking at least a week off from Comic Frontline reviews to do this. This Friday, at 9:30, we might be a little late because we have to go somewhere, possibly Friday, but it will happen, whether it be 9:30, 9:45. I will be posting on Twitter. My phone is connected to the internet now. I will be constantly posting to let you guys know what time. This Friday, Dark Avenger Live will be setting up 300. It will be the prelude and the grand opening of the 300th Comic Review Celebration Weekend. We will be doing episode 95 of the Indie Review and episode 300 will be the last video from the 300th Comic Review Celebration. So between Dark Avenger Live and episode 300 of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review will be all the videos and announcements throughout the entire weekend. So this time next week will be the end of 300. And you guys will have all the announcements. You'll know what's going to be going on this channel. Now, there are a nice amount of announcements. I will say that in advance. One announcement will be on Dark Avenger Live, and it's not a, oh my god, I need to watch Dark Avenger Live. It's a major announcement. It's a common sense announcement, I would say. It's something that I'm sure you guys already are expecting. So maybe I'm just going to stretch it a little bit. I'll explain a little bit more, maybe add a little bit of spice to it. So there'll be something different about, you know, or something new to bring to this announcement. But really, you guys are you're gonna hear the announcement and go, we knew this was gonna be announced for sure. So look forward to an announcement on Dark Avenger Live, one announcement, and then the rest will be spread out throughout the entire weekend. We're going to be doing a lot of work from tomorrow into Friday. The only day that we won't be doing work, because we'll have Comic Frontline Live, is Tuesday. Tuesday night I won't be recording anything, obviously, because we'll be doing Comic Frontline live. But after that, everything else will be working, gearing, and part of 300. We're going to have a great time. We hope you guys are available this coming weekend. If not, the videos will be archived in their own playlist, except the reviews. The reviews will be in their respective playlists, but I'll also put them in 300. But 300 will have its own playlist. If you're busy this weekend, if you're going on vacation this weekend, if you're disappearing for a weekend, if you need to, do whatever this weekend, you can't be there to get the videos as they're posted, don't worry. I will be taking the 300th Comic Review Celebration playlist and putting it directly on the front of my channel for the entire week of the entire first week of August. 300 will be on my channel as the top playlist. So don't worry. It will be there. If you miss out, all the announcements will be there. Like I said, I'm doing one announcement per video, so there'll be shorter videos. It won't be one gigantic, long announcement video that you'll have to sit through for an hour. It will literally be small announcements at a time, so if you have to take it video by video, you can. There will be a lot of videos, though. So hopefully you guys will be there during the weekend. For those of you that can't, you'll catch up during the week. You'll have an entire week to catch up on all the announcements, at least, and the reviews. So with that, that's it, guys. We're going to go. We're going to start preparing for 300 as we speak. We already are. As soon as this video goes off, we're going to start talking about it at least, and then we'll start recording tomorrow. But thank you guys so much. 299 episodes down. Here we go towards 300. Major announcements. Major things are going to be happening. We are about to shake this channel to its core. By the end of 300, things will never be the same for this channel again. So we hope you guys enjoyed the journey from episode 1 to now. If you thought things changed and got shaken up and really evolved from 1 to 299, wait until you see what we have in store for you from 300 on. Big things are coming. So till then, guys, take care. Keep reading, keep collecting. We'll see you guys on Tuesday night on Frontline Live.
And as always, don't forget to check out
ComicFrontline.com, Zone4Podcast.com, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. All these announcements will, of course, pertain to certain things in both Frontline and Zone4.com. So look forward to it. Lots of big things coming. We're very excited. Till then, guys, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you guys really soon for the 300th Comic Book Review Celebration.
Yep.
Take care, everybody.
Later, everyone.